Howdy people. Okay, it's been a little while between reviews. I've had a bad sinus infection, so I haven't been able to smell or taste anything for a few weeks, almost a month to be honest. But I've picked a few. I've got some really cool ones to review, and I thought I'd start with this crazy one that I've really been looking forward to. It's a Borg 9 yellow. I've seen different shapes on the internet, and you know, I've heard they're fruity, but look, the Borg 9 was a fantastic pod. It was one that was a really good heat, and when I reviewed it, I remember it you know, burnt long after the review had finished. It was a good flavour and all that sort of thing. The original Borg 9 being a 7-pot bubblegum or BBG crossed with a Nagla. Naga crossed with a 7-pot Douglas is a Nagla, and the 7-pot BBG is a yellow 7-pot crossed with a Moruga Scorpion. And I'm thinking that in all possibilities that's where the yellow trait came from. It might have been a throwback to the yellow 7-pot. Not sure, there's not a lot of info on it, and it may have been crossed again, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay. It's got a little bit of a smell. It's not pungent, but it's got a sweet smell to it. It's been in the fridge for about a week, so it is. It's still got a thick skin to it, but it's. I can just tell by the smell of it, it's ready to eat. Okay. I got a little bit of a fruity flavour to it, but the one thing that took me was just how thick that skin was on it. It was almost like a little leathery jacket on it. It wasn't particularly juicy, but and it doesn't have a particularly sweet flavour like you'd find with a lot of yellows either. What an interesting pod, yeah, really different. And like I said, you know, I was a big fan of the Borg 9 Red. UK grower John Harper grew that, made that cross, and that really is a fantastic one. Look, just on memory, they taste very different with the yellow version. But like I said, it doesn't have a lot of the characteristics of the sweetness that a lot of yellow pods have. It's got some heat. It's not scorching like the red one. You know, and I don't get any of the yellow 7-pot flavours. That's a pod that I find absolutely fantastic. I really love them. I'm getting a bit of drool. Heat's taking over in the back of my tongue, not in the deep in the throat, but starting to get on the top of my throat near the back. I had 2 of these plants, one in a small pot, one in a really big one, and the small one started throwing pods. That's where I got this one from. The big one has taken all year. It's quite late, but now that it's throwing pods, it's throwing heaps. I've got probably 100 pods on it. Look, it's considered unstable still, but what I'm getting is very uniform pods. But, you know, from the ones I see on the internet, they're not as wrinkly as they are. Mine are, a lot of the smaller ones are quite round and smooth, sort of like a upside down teardrop with the little, almost wanting to make a tail, but not quite. Really different flavour though. It's I guess it's just hard to put a flavour on it. It's very much got its own flavour. It's not unpleasant. I like it. You know, I guess I do find it hard to find a chili I don't like. But the drool's there, plenty of drool, but not excessive heat. It's all over my tongue now. Started to move forward, up under the front of my tongue. I'm just glad that my nose isn't running today. For the last month with this sinus thing, it's just been a nightmare. But I didn't want to do any reviews and not be able to actually taste them properly. So that's why I've had a bit of a break. Look, I'm really happy with it. It seems the plants seem to be producing pretty well. I'd like to grow it again next year, but I've already sort of made up my mind on the hotter ones I'm going to be growing. you know, I might have a crack at some more of the pods, you know, the smaller ones, just straight off the plant and see what they're like. Just see if they're a little bit sweeter. You know, every now and then you get a pod that's, you know, just got its own flavour and, you know, isn't really a shining example of the rest of the pods or the variety. A little bit of sweat. Very much cooling off already. It's not going to be a long burn. I'll never forget that the Borg 9 I reviewed, might have been 2 years ago. It just when I thought it had peaked and started coming down, might have been about 8 minutes into the review, I finished off and it just kept going. After the review, another good 5 minutes of burn. Yeah, even the flavours sort of dissipated as well now too. Yeah, I'd suggest having a crack at growing it. It's a you know, it's a good looking pod. I love the shapes. Flavour's very different, so it's nice to always have something different. I didn't find it very fruity. I saw a lot of the people's you know, commenting on what they were like online, or just reading the blurbs on them, and it said that it has a very fruity flavour, and I'm just not getting that. So yeah, like I said, I'll be interested to grab a few more and check them out. All right, I don't need to do a long one today. Great to be back. I'll catch everyone soon. Oh, sorry, out of 10, heat. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 heat. All right, thanks people.